Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Tomorrow Day Farms. Today we're going to do a really simple soup to can. We're going to do some French onion soup my way. It's just really simple. It's the way we used to do it in the restaurants. But it's super tasty and it's a great condiment to many things like stir fries, roast beef dinners, or just a plain soup. But it's a really good recipe and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm just going to pause you guys and take you over to this pot of massive onions I just got done chopping up. So I'll be with you in just a second. So guys, here we go. Super simple, really easy soup. It just takes a long time. So what we're going to do, guys, is I have a little bit of bacon fat in the bottom. If that freaks you out, use a little bit of olive oil or butter. I probably will have to add a little bit more. It was just basically the leftover bacon fat from this morning from breakfast. I have a little bit of thyme in here, but that was just the sprigs. This is my dried thyme here. We are eventually going to throw this in. And then I have, minus the thyme leaf, I have 8 cloves of garlic. You want your base to be super fragrant. And I am going to add about a teaspoon of hot chili flakes eventually here. But this will take at least an hour. You want these onions so caramelized and so beautiful. If you happen to have a cast iron pot that's big enough, or even an enameled cast iron pan, I feel that they are the best ones to use because they hold the heat and they caramelize really, really well. So all we're going to do is cook these. I'm going to bring you every 15 minutes and I'm going to show you. This will literally cook down to nothing. I am going to use 3 liters of my beef broth, and I also have my dogs, my Leeks, the dehydrated Leeks. I'll leave a link to that video in an iCard. And so it's going to be like an onion leek kind of soup. It's so good, guys. It's so good. If you love onions as much as Michael does, this is one soup I can get him to eat. So if, say, Cody and I wanted kale and chickpea soup for supper, we can absolutely have that simply because he'll eat this one. So this is why I do multiple different kinds of soup, but I use it in multiple different ways. So, which you'll be seeing a lot over the winter. I'll take a jar of this and make a stir fry, or like start like a casserole with it. It just adds to your pantry. So I'm gonna let these start cooking, and I will bring you guys back every 15 minutes or so, and I'll show you how just to get those caramelized, and then I'll show you how to just sweeten them just a touch, just to get a little bit more color. Alright, guys, welcome back. This has been about 15 minutes, so we're going to start adding things. As you can see, it's really reduced itself. I'm going to add the Leeks. Now the Leeks will sop up a lot of that liquid because they're not fully rehydrated, which is exactly what I want. And now we're going to get some seasonings in here. I'm going to put the garlic in now. One thing with garlic, if you didn't know, is that if you don't put a base on your garlic, it will burn when you're cooking it for a very long period of time. So you kind of want to give it a little bit of time to start. Then those Leeks will sop up a lot of that. Sorry guys, my nose is running from these onions. A lot of the liquid, which is fine. We're now going to salt it. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. That will pull more water out. And I'm going to add 2 bay leaves. And I'll leave that video as well. There's 3 there. And I'll leave that in an iCard as well. And I'm also going to add, instead of pepper, a teaspoon of chili flakes, a teaspoon of celery seed, and our bouquet. I'm just going to push that down. That bouquet is tied with butcher's twine, and it will just, and that's from our garden. And those leaves will all fall off, and then I'll just pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Instead of standing there and pulling off every little leaf and all that stuff, pish posh. Put it in a bouquet and throw it in your soup, and then pull it out at the end. Let's move that into the middle. And then the color will start soon once all this liquid is absorbed by those leeks. This is such a good soup, guys. Such a good soup. Hearty. Add some cheese, and if you like croutons, a big fresh crouton. But like I said, you can do so much more with it than just make a soup. And I think that's what we all kind of goal for when we're canning, is more than one way, you know? Now, if you don't have, sorry, before I forget, if you don't happen to have fresh thyme, do not stress. Just add a couple good teaspoons of dried thyme, and you'll be good to go. Sometimes this will happen. I just pull them out as I see them and put them in my junk bowl. But I've been wanting to make this soup with you guys for at least 2 weeks, but I've been on puppy patrol for the last couple nights, and I've got a really late start today, but that's okay. I had to have a snooze. This is starting to smell divine. I love caramelizing onions. Alright, so I'll see you guys in about another 15 minutes. Alright guys, there's a lot of water in these onions, so it's going to take probably another hour. But you guys can see, try to get that I have my stove on my double burner, and I have it fairly high, but I'm standing right here with it. But it is cooking out. I did add another cup of leeks, so I did 2 cups of leeks total in this. I just want to bump up that flavor just a touch. And you can see the color is starting to form. But look, you want to make sure you leave that lid off to get that moisture out. You don't want to leave the lid on. You want to make sure you're really picking it up from the bottom. You don't want that garlic to burn, because then this whole pot is garbage. That is something you definitely do not want. Burnt garlic is so gross, and it ruins your food. And these are those Amish white onions. I bought these onions for this soup and sweet onion jam, which we'll be making fairly soon. But you can see the color is starting to really start to form because the liquid is all cooking out. The house smells like onions, I mean. Michael's outside working on logs to reinforce the sows so they don't escape again. We're having a lot of problems with our sows this year, but that's okay. Once we get it figured out, it'll all be good. We've already got orders for babies next year, so that's fantastic. So Wilbur better hurry up and do his thing. Get big. But for now, they're going to be separate. But we'll bring you out back when we, we'll do a video when we do Wilbur and move him. But look at that. It is so smelling so good, guys. I wish I had smell-o-vision. You can see the flakes of the thyme in there. Just got to keep stirring. You'll have arm muscles when you make this soup. Let me know down in the comments below, what is your favorite soup to can? Maybe I'll get some ideas. Or if you want to send me your favorite soup recipe at our email address, it's linked below, go ahead. If it's something I don't make and I think we'll eat it, I'll definitely film it and make it and can it. I did Peggy soup once. That was so good. I didn't can it. I just made it for Cody and I because we devoured it. It was gone. I think I have a video on that. I'll link that in an iCard as well. Alright. So I'll bring you guys back when this gets a little bit browner. Alright guys. So that's good enough. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar to this. Hurt myself there on that door. And I have my stove at about 4. And I'm going to add three liters of beef broth that we made together. I'll leave that in an iCard as well. I have dogs, guys, everywhere. I almost stepped on my old man's tail. Okay. Michael happens to be in the house, so when I get this heated through, I'm going to get him to taste it, see if he wants anything else in it. Do 3 liters. You know what, guys? I think that's going to be perfect. I did get some boxed because I didn't want to use all my good stuff. You can see the flecks of thyme in there. And I'm just going to bring that up to a light simmer here because that broth was obviously cold. Well, room temperature. I'm going to get my canner ready. I've got my jars ready. This does need to be pressure canned. So the soup does take a bit of patience, but I feel it's worth it. Look at that beautiful color. I took out my bouquet. I just threw it in my scrap bowl, guys. But that's, there you are, right there. Super simple with a pair of tongs, pulled it out and it was done. It pulled off all the leaves for the majority. So I'm super happy with that. No mess, no standing there, pulling off all those leaves. I love thyme, but I hate prepping thyme. I would rather do it that way. But you do you, your kitchen, your rules. But yeah, I'm just going to let this come up to a slight simmer, get warmed through, get Michael to taste it, and see if he wants anything else in it. And then we will jar this beautiful French onion and leek soup up. You can see all those beautiful leeks in there. Garlic. I'll pull out the bay leaves as well once it gets up to temperature there. And I will bring you back and let you know if he wants anything different in it. Alright guys, so now we're going to can it up. It's been tasted. It's good apparently. Michael said to leave a bowl out, but he's not getting one. And we are going to can this up. You do want to stir your pot every single time you stick your ladle in. You want to make sure you're getting all that goodness in every scoop. Now, if you guys want this a little thinner, Michael happens just to love onions, so I make it a little thicker than normal. And we are going to pressure can this. I am going to use the Presto because I don't know how many jars I'm going to get, and I don't want to have to run 2 canners or 2 canner loads. I want to do it in one. Oh guys, this is so good, and it's got a little kick to it. Michael says there's no kick to it, but I tasted a kick, so we're going to leave it at that. Now, just so you guys know, if you wanted to, you guys could, in all reality, add mushrooms to this and do like mushroom French onion soup is delicious as well, and then can that up. Do the same steps with the onions and but add the mushrooms at the same time. Guys, if we didn't have that big allergy in the house, I'd so have it. But I don't want Cody to grab, like, he doesn't always look at the lids, and I don't want Cody to grab it by accident, or I would absolutely have that on our shelf. I missed a bay leaf. Take that out. It's so good, guys. So I'm going to put this in a collaboration, hashtag Let's Can, with Morris Patch Heaven Homestead. We are going to fill these up here. I'm going to finish this jar. Whoop. So now, guys, we're just going to debubble. Check our head space, because there could be an air pocket underneath one of those onions. You definitely want to check for that. I'll get the canning time. I forget what it is. I want to say it's 75 minutes. I'm positive it's 75 minutes. But I'm going to double check. Alright, so now we're going to wipe the rims. Definitely let me know what your favorite soup is. What's your favorite soup to can? I have a whole list for us to can this year of soups that I want to get achieved. May take us all winter, but that's okay. Michael's been working hard, moving logs, cutting wood, getting ready for winter. Quickly approaching, quickly approaching. Alright. So now I'm going to take my lid, piece of onion on me here, fingertip tight, that's it. Fingertip tight. And then we're going to get them into the canner. I will jump over and check my canning book, but I'm pretty sure it's 75 minutes and then 90 minutes for 1 liter, but let me go double check. Those beautiful jars in the canner. Then we're gonna rock and roll this canner. Let me go and check that. 500 milliliter jars, guys, are 60 minutes, so I was wrong. And 1 liter jars are an hour and 15 minutes. Okay? So I'm gonna get this filled up here, and I will see you when I'm pulling them out of the canner. Alright guys, we're gonna pull them out of the canner. And as they cool, the onions should drop a little bit. They're sealing as I'm taking them out here. So. No siphoning at all. To fill these 2 jars right here, I had to put a little bit of beef broth in there, but that's okay. Alright guys, that's what I got. Did I get 2, 4, 6, 8? I got 10 jars. That's fantastic. Here we go. And that process for 60 minutes. And for 1 liters is 115, I think it is. But I'll leave everything in the description box for you and my recipe. But if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we upload. And don't forget to check out the collaboration and see if you get some inspiration from other ladies here on YouTube. And I will talk to you guys super soon. Bye.